Alright, here is my review of the Zippo 2-flame torch lighter. Insert. Unfortunately, I mean, the fit and finish is really nice. Fits any standard Zippo case. I've been carrying around here in my little Ace of Spades case. Slides right in, no issues. Fits fairly tight. Lid closes. Lid's a little wobbly on it, but then again, that lighter case is pretty well used. Use this for cigars. Unfortunately, I have a couple issues with it besides the fit and finish. For starters, she doesn't always want to ignite, and sometimes she'll work, sometimes she won't. I think she's kind of out of gas right now. Another issue with this is that, unlike every other butane torch lighter on the market, this doesn't have a window anywhere on it to tell you how full it is on butane. I know Zippo says, you know, turn this thing upside down and take your lighter fluid, stick it on a little nipple, and fill it up for only like 10 seconds. I've never had a butane torch lighter that fills all the way to the top in less than 10 seconds. Normally, you gotta sit there and hold it there for a little while, and you can watch the tank slowly fill up. And one trick I found to help filling this thing up, when you go to fill it up, take this thing out of your lighter, or take your whole lighter, whatever, but take this, stick it in the freezer. Stick it in your ice box, whatever, chill it way down. When you chill that down and the heat of your hands warms this bottle up and warms that butane up, it'll rush down into here a little quicker and condense quicker inside the tank. I found out that it helps out a little bit. But yeah, there was one little light. But yeah, doesn't always want to light. Runs out of fuel pretty quick, but I think that issue is because you can't see how much you're putting into it. Whereas this thing, I've had this lighter since high school. Works right on the first try. And you always know when those are full. So, yeah, I'd say about 3 stars. When it works, it's nice, but most of the time, I'd rather just use this old thing, because it works.
Slightly better, but it still took a lot of meddling around with to get it to actually fire up. So all in all, yeah, not exactly their best product. Yeah, looks nice, but that's about it. I only got it so I could heat up the pre-soldered wire connectors. I'm doing a bit of electrics on the truck. It's nice and small. Seems to be okay on the high settings, but you need to maybe back it off 1 or 2 seconds on the dial. Yeah, it does get a bit warm as well when you're using it constantly. So it doesn't feel it warming up on my finger. So yeah, all in all, Looks nice, but disappointing in the old performance.
Purchased my Zippo jet lighter insert, and unfortunately the first time I filled it with the butane, this is the bottom of the lighter insert, by the way, and this is the flame adjustment, the one with the brass ring around it. I'll explain why that's up and off of the little Phillips head adjustment. I'll explain that in a minute. What happened was I had a big problem with, I didn't know if I was going to overfill the tank or what, but I could not get mine to light after about the first tank. So after the second tank, I filled it and filled it. I filled it for like 60 seconds with butane going in it for 60 seconds. I was afraid I was going to explode the tank. So long story short, what I had to do was I had to loosen this screw, and I had to loosen the other screw, and there is this little O-ring right here. It's a rubber O-ring that goes around. It goes around that little brass flame adjustment. I'm sorry, I can't get it into focus. There it goes. Right there in the middle of the screen. It goes around that. What I had to do is take that O-ring off, and I had to get a, like, almost like a razor blade. You have to get underneath this little round brass fitting with teeth that grips that Phillips head flame adjustment. And what I had to do was I had to lift that brass ring from around it to where it could turn freely without spinning the little Phillips head flame adjustment. I moved it a little bit more to the negative. The negative you can see right here, it's got positive and negative on it. So you turn it a little bit to the right, which is counterclockwise. I mean clockwise. So you see the plus and the minus. Anyway, turn it a little. The ring, the brass ring, turn that, lift it up after you take the O-ring off. Jesus, how do I focus it? All right, lift that up, twist it to the minimum a little bit, just about a third of a turn, and then turn it up just a little bit more than max, and it will light, and you won't have to send it back and all that crap.
I want to like this thing so bad because it looks so cool, but it's so finicky, and so like you gotta like take this little spark thing and you move it around until until it works. If you move it too high, if you move it higher, it works better sometimes. See, it's working better. This is the most reliable. You can see this jet's kind of sputtery. If it's cold, if it's outside, it won't light it whatsoever. If I move it too high, then this spark will hit the outer casing instead of the middle, and so that won't light. And if you move it too low, it'll just never light whatsoever. I move it too low, that's it, nothing, ever. So you gotta be very precise with that thing, and even if you are, it still won't work half the time. And then on top of that, it's not very well sealed, so it leaks, and so you have to refill it like once every, I don't know, like 2 weeks or something, which is not super bad, but it's better than like the fuel Zippos, but it's still like way worse than a normal butane lighter. So yeah, it's sad because it's really cool, but it's not good.
This is freshly filled butane insert, not damaged. Well, I mean, I filled it yesterday, but whatever. And this is what it does. Oh, sure, now it works.
He took him. Okay, did he identify himself? No. But he said if Victoria didn't lose this game,